Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time, I would like you to hit the subscribe button and smash the notification bell, and let me use this opportunity to wish all of you a very happy new year. As you all know, if you are really on this channel, you know how we ended 2021, all right, and we are in a new year, all right. And trust me, this year is power packed. You wouldn't want to miss my weekly analysis. Yes, so make sure you are consistent, all right, because I'm gonna be consistent with my weekly analysis, all right. So you also have to be consistent if you really want to get the best or the most out of my weekly analysis, all right. Yeah, so just as we do it every weekend, we are starting this weekend, all right. This is going to be my first ever video of weekend analysis for the year 2022, all right. Yeah, so I like us to go through some few pairs, the pairs on my watch list, and then we see how the market is going to go, what the market has for us going into next week and the weeks ahead, all right. Because we basically focused on swing trading, and some of the trades, we'll be holding some of the trades for like some weeks, even months, all right. Yeah, so let's just go through some few pairs and then see what the market has for us going into next week and the weeks ahead, all right. Yeah, so first of all, we start with the dollar index, all right. The dollar index is something that I don't do without. Yes, because once you have an idea of how the dollar is moving, the other pairs that are correlated with the dollar is going to be so easy for you to be able to fish out where they also move, all right. Yeah, so let's quickly look at what is happening on the dollar index, all right. So we start straight from the monthly time frame, all right. Yeah, so as you can see, we've seen a break in market structure in here, all right. And then prior to the break in market structure, we are seeing an order block in here, all right. So as you can see, just look at where price got to, all right, the structure, all right. And you've seen some rejection, all right. We saw a rejection in October, we saw a rejection in December, sorry, yes. So we saw a rejection in November, we saw a rejection in December, and we've started seeing rejection in January, all right. So that tells you that there is some downward pressure, all right. There is some pressure to the downside to fill these imbalances, all right. Yes, so looking at this, or based on what I'm seeing, my bias for the dollar index is going to be bearish for the month ahead, all right. So let's quickly go to the weekly too and see what is happening on the weekly time frame, all right. So as you can see, this is what has happened. There is a lot of imbalances, all right. And then there are lots of what sell side liquidity, sell stops in here, all right. So my target is going to be for price to come and clear first of all this low, and then we see if price will be able to move further to this low and then fill this fair value gap we have in here, all right. Yeah, so that is it on the weekly time frame. Let's quickly go to daily time frame to and see what is happening on the daily time frame. So as you can see, as I told you, on the monthly time frame, there is lots and lots of bearish pressure to the downside. So as you can see, this is how the market is reacting on the daily time frame. So as you can see, this is a consolidation we are seeing in here, telling us that the market is reversing, all right. The market is reversing to the downside, all right. Yes, so going into next week, I'm expecting that the market will break out of the consolidation and then move to the downside to fill all these imbalances before it reverses to the upside, all right. So that is my view, or that is my perspective for the dollar index, all right. Let's quickly go to AUDUSD too and see what is happening in there. Let's quickly go there too and see what is happening in there. All right, so as you can see, so remember, the dollar index is what is negatively correlated, all right. It is negatively correlated with the Aussie dollar, that is the AUDUSD, all right. So that means if the dollar index is poised to move to the downside, AUDUSD should move to the upside. All right, so this is basically why I always analyze the dollar index. All right, it helps me to know which pair that should move to another side and which pair that should also move to another side. All right, so as you can see on the daily of AUDUSD, we saw price come down to clear these sell stops. All right, yes, so clear these sell stops, and then price moved back into this range. All right, it moved back into this range and then came back to this other block. All right, and then we saw a break in market structure in here. So we saw a break in market structure, price went up, consolidated a little bit, and moved back into this range. All right, back into this other block. All right, because I mean this is the last down close candle prior to price breaking the structure, and then we've seen a rejection. All right, once it came here quickly, we saw a quick rejection to the upside. All right, so my target is for price to clear this buy stops. All right, price to clear this buy stops and then at least move and then retest any of these other blocks, either this or this. All right, before we see a movement to the downside. All right, before we see a movement to the downside. So I'm bullish. All right, going into next week, I'm going to look for buy entries. All right, I'm going to look for buy entries on AUDUSD. All right, so I'm just going to wait for price to come back to retest this other block. All right, and I'll take my entry right here, and then I'll look forward to see the market move to the upside to clear the buy stops. All right, clearing the buy stops above this consolidation. All right, so that is my perspective so far as the Australian dollar versus the US dollar is concerned. All right, let's quickly look at what is happening on AUDJPY. All right, let's quickly look at what is happening to on AUDJPY. Okay, so for AUDJPY, let's look at the monthly. All right, let's quickly look at the monthly and see what is happening on AUDJPY on the monthly time frame. So as you can see, price, first of all, it broke the structure. All right, it broke the structure, came back to the structure to retest and moved up a little bit to this high. All right, prior to this high, we've seen price retesting or moving into this low. Okay, yes, so moving into this low, and then we've seen price this month moving to the downside. All right, so actually this other block hasn't been retested yet. This is another block which hasn't been retested yet. All right, so before price will move to the upside, I'll expect that price will come, clear this sell stops in here, retest this other block. All right, retest this other block, and then we see a movement to the upside. All right, so that is my expectation on the monthly time frame. I'm expecting price to come and then clear the sell stops and then retest this other block we are seeing here and then move to the upside, clearing the buy stops up there. So let's quickly go to the weekly time frame too and see what is happening on the weekly time frame. Okay, so this is what is happening on the weekly time frame. All right, so my expectation is for price to at least move a little bit up into this other block. All right, move a little bit up into this other block before we see a massive movement to the downside, clearing these sell stops and then retesting this other block. All right, yeah, so I mean I was expecting this to happen last week. All right, but it didn't happen. All right, that doesn't mean price has moved away or I've missed this trade. I haven't missed it. As you can see, these are relative equal highs. All right, and then These are relative equal highs, and price always do it. All right, price always react this way. It will create a relative equal highs, and then we'll come back to clear it before it continues moving to the upside or to the downside. All right, so my expectation going into next week is that price will come and then retest this old high we are seeing here. All right, retest this old high we are seeing here, and then clear this relative equal highs into the bearish order block, and then we see a movement to the downside. We see a movement to the downside. So that is my expectation on AUDJPY going into next week. All right, I'm expecting price to come and then retest this old high we are seeing here, and then quickly move to the upside into this other block, and then you see a movement to the downside. So let's look at what is also happening on NZDJPY. Bear in mind, AUDJPY and NZDJPY are positively correlated pairs. That means they move in the same direction. So if I'm expecting bearishness in AUDJPY, I should expect bearishness in NZDJPY. If I'm expecting bullishness in AUDJPY, I should also expect bullishness in NZDJPY. All right, I'm gonna prepare a video on correlation. All right, I intended doing it last year, but something came up, so I couldn't do it. All right, I couldn't do it last year, so trust me, this year I'm going to bring you educational content. So I'm planning on doing a video on educational content on positively correlated pairs. That is going to help you to be able to select your pairs well. All right, that will help you to select your pairs very, very well. Okay, so just as we saw on AUDJPY, look at what is also happening on NZDJPY. Look at what is happening. Just look at what is happening. Look at it. Look at this high. We saw a similar high on a daily time frame of the AUDJPY, and we are seeing the same thing in here. All right, so just as we've seen on AUDJPY, going into next week too, I'm expecting price to come a little bit further to retest this high and then move into this other block. All right, move into this other block. That is this other block. All right, yes, so I'm expecting price to come further down to this high, move into this other block. All right, yes, so I'm expecting price to come further to this high, move into this other block, and then move to the downside to clear this sell stops you are seeing here. All right, yes, to clear the sell stops you are seeing here before it continues to wherever it wants to go. All right, so far this is my expectation on NZDJPY. So let's quickly look at CADJPY too and see what is happening on CADJPY. Let's go to the monthly and see what is happening on the monthly. All right, yes, so look at what is happening. Look at what is happening. We saw a break in the market structure in here. Price came back to retest. All right, retest this high, and we saw price moving to clear this buy stops you are seeing here. But just look at something here. Just look at something here. Look at what has happened in here. So you see, came to retest this low we are seeing here. So my expectation is that price will just move down to clear the sell stop. All right, this is sell stops. All right, so I'm expecting price to move, clear the sell stop, fill these imbalances you are seeing in here. All right, before it continues to push to the upside. All right, so on the monthly time frame, that is my expectation. Yes, I'm expecting price to clear the sell stops, retest this old high we are seeing here by filling these imbalances before we continue moving to the upside to retest this bearish order block we are seeing here. All right, yes, moving to this to clear this bearish order block we are seeing here. All right, so to be on the safer side, I'm not going to touch this pair till the month ends. That is the month of January. All right, because I want to see how this candle will react. All right, I want to see how this candle will react. That will give me a clear indication that the market will really poise to the downside to clear the sell stop. All right, yeah, so I'm not going to touch this pair till the month ends. All right, just for me to see how this January candle on the monthly time frame is going to react. Okay, so let's go to GBPJPY too and see what is happening on GBPJPY. So as you can see on GBPJPY is currently in this bearish order block. All right, yes, it is in this bearish order block, and then there is a sell stops here for price to come and clear, fill these imbalances, retest this old high. All right, before it goes up to fill these imbalances we are seeing here, and then into this bearish order block. All right, and so this pair too, I'm not going to touch it. Yes, I want to see how the January candle is going to react. All right, I'm not going to touch this pair. All right, I'm not going to touch this pair till the month ends. All right, yes, I'm not going to. I just want to see how it's going to react. All right, because it's looking as if it wants to break this high. All right, and once it breaks this high, that means it's going away from this order block to fill these imbalances. All right, but if it fails to break this high, look at this high. Just look at this high. If it fails to break this high, all right, that is when I'll be convinced that these sell stops are going to be cleared. But if it breaks this high, then that means price will move up to fill these imbalances we are seeing here. All right, yeah, so I'm not going to touch this pair until the month of January ends. So let's see what is happening on GBPCHF here. Actually, I don't know what this pair is doing here, because I don't really remember the last time I traded this pair here, so I don't remember how this pair got in here. But let's see. Let's just analyze this pair and see what is happening. Okay. Let's analyze and see what is happening. So as you can see, we saw price coming down to clear the sell stops here. All right, price move to break the structure and see price retest the structure. All right, so from my perspective, I think price will come up and then clear these highs. All right, price will clear these highs. Price will have to clear these highs, and then we see price coming back into this order block, this bearish order block. All right, yes, so let's look at what is happening on the daily time frame. Let's look at what is happening. Okay, so as you can see, just as we said on the monthly time frame. All right, yeah, so we even see a clear consolidation in here. All right, this is a consolidation. Price moved up, clearing this buy stops, came back to fill this imbalance, and then we are seeing price moving up again. All right, yes, so let's see what is happening on the daily. So this is what is happening on the daily. All right, just as I told you, I don't know how this pair came into my watch list in here. All right, because due to the rough price nature of price action last year, it wasn't so appealing for me to trade this pair. Look at what happened the whole of last year, from April to October lots of consolidations. All right, lots of consolidations before we saw a break, and then so this pair is kind of rough to me. All right, it's the price action of this pair is so rough, so I wouldn't be concentrating so much on this pair. I will not be concentrating so much on this pair. Yeah, so let's look at EURJPY. Let's look at what is happening on EURJPY. Let's look at what is happening on EURJPY. Okay. Okay, so this is rough. This, you see, I'm not comfortable trading in price actions like this. Look at it. Look at what is happening in here. Just look at what is happening. Lots of consolidations. All right, so this way like this, I wouldn't be comfortable trading here. All right, yes, because consolidations are too much on the higher time frame, and as you know, I'm a swing trader. All right, I'm a swing trader, and sometimes I even hold pairs for months. All right, I remember somewhere last year I held a pair for like 2 months. Yes, I held a pair for 2 months, and looking at this consolidation, I'm not going to be comfortable picking up this pair. All right, yes, because I mean, there are lots of opportunities in other pairs I can take advantage of. All right, this industry, it is not about the number of pairs you trade. All right, you need not to trade a lot of pairs. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pairs is okay. All right, yes, it's okay. That gives you the concentration to concentrate on those pairs. All right, yes. So that is just that. So quickly, let's look at what is happening on EURJPY. Okay, so as you can see on EURJPY, as we can see on EURJPY, this is what is happening. All right, this is what is happening. Price is failing to break this high. All right, price is really failing to break this high. All right, but still it's not so clear to me. All right, still it's not so clear to me. So I'm going to hold on to this pair, wait and see how the January candle is going to react. Once I see how the January pair is going to react, then I'll see how I'll be able to trade this pair, because things are not so clear now. Yeah, things are not so clear now, so I'll be able to see how to trade this pair after January, after this candle has completely formed. All right, yeah, so that is just that. Yeah, that is just that. All right, yeah, so if you haven't subscribed to this channel, I would like you to hit that, so don't forget at all to hit the subscribe button. All right, and I mean, I have a Telegram community as well. All right, yeah, whereby I post in trade signals. I also have mentorship programs and all that. All right, yeah, so you can check in the description below to find my Telegram channel link and then join my community. All right, lots and lots and lots of pips to be made in the year 2022. Sorry. All right, lots of pips to be made in the year 2022. You don't want to miss out. Yes, you don't want to miss out. You don't want to miss out. All right, yes. So if you haven't joined my Telegram channel, the link is in the description below. Just hit on the link and then join my Telegram channel. All right, my mentorship is open. All right, this year I'm only opening up for 6 slots. All right, I'm only opening up for 6 slots, and then I'll take it from there. I just want to have time for every student of mine. All right, the last time I was telling people in my community that numbers don't move me. All right, numbers don't move me. The little people that I have to my exposure, I always make sure that I give them quality content. All right, I make sure that I ensure that they develop as traders. It's not about your money. All right, it's not about your money, but how developed you are going to be under my feet. That is is really my consent. All right. Yeah. So that is why I'm opening up 6 slots, just 6 students. All right. And then we take it from there. So it is still open. All right. Yes, it is still open. There are some slots. There are about 4 slots available. Yes, I'm left with 4 people. All right. I'm left with 4 slots available. So if you want to join my mentorship program, all right, I mean, I'm going to teach you whatever concept that you need to know so far as institutional trading is concerned. All right, maybe you've been struggling with grasping the concept and all that. Trust me, I'm going to make it a little bit simple for you to understand. All right. Yeah, I mean, getting or learning the institutional trading concept is not easy. All right, but I mean, with my assistance, you'll be able to get the concept. All right. Yes. So that comes to the end of this week's weekly analysis. All right. Yes. So I wish you all good luck and good trading.